Greetings, YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about Trump again. I don't want to, but apparently people are just beginning to become aware that Trump is a raging bigot and misogynist. And as someone else I saw online said, that's kind of like getting to the seventh Harry Potter book before you realize that Voldemort is the bad guy. Trump has always been a morally reprehensible creep his entire public life. He has always been a misogynist. Always. And just now, people are noticing. And it's interesting that they seem to be noticing that he's a bigot, not after he called all Mexican immigrants rapists and drug dealers and murderers, or when he implied that all Muslims on the entire planet, all 1.6 billion of them, are terrorists. No, no, no. That didn't do it. People were willing to accept those comments. It's when he publicly admitted to sexually assaulting white women, and all of a sudden, everybody gets out the pitchforks and the torches. And I know I'm opposed to the pitchforks and torches where Trump is concerned, or actually any Republican politician. But how did you ignore this until now? Now, he's publicly admitted to sexually assaulting women, to looking upon them as nothing but an orifice, which isn't all that strange because that's how the Republican Party has been treating women for decades. Women have been treated as nothing but an orifice leading to a uterus. That's it. That's the only purpose that women have in the Republican worldview. And they want you to have babies, and preferably white Christian Republican babies. They're not so big if they're not white and Christian or Republican. But Trump's comments were about a white woman, so that's got everybody upset. Now remember, this is the same party that said that trans women pose an imminent threat to women in public restrooms, even though that doesn't happen. They just made that bullshit up, and it was red meat for the base. But their presidential candidate has stepped forward to say he has actually sexually assaulted women. Now, some people are distancing themselves. Awesome. But if you want to stop Donald Trump, in fact, if you want to stop all his enablers and all the other Republicans that have been fighting a war on women and minorities for decades, in the case of women, I don't think they were ever about equality. And the Republican Party has been fighting the war against minorities since the Civil Rights Act movement of the 1960s. If you want to stop them, all we have to do is everyone vote Democrat. That's it. If everyone votes Democrat, Trump doesn't get the White House. In fact, we the people have the power to end the Republican Party on November 8th. End it. Just think if no Republicans won office and the only Republicans left are the ones currently in Congress. Suddenly, they wouldn't have the majority. Suddenly, they would be on the endangered species list. Paul Ryan, one of the most important, powerful Republicans in the entire United States of America, has come forward to say, hey, every man for himself. It's absolute ethical and moral bankruptcy. Trump can't win, and we, the people, can stop him. All we have to do is make sure every single group that has been disenfranched by Trump and the GOP in general, which is women, racial minorities, religious minorities, and the LGBTQ community, if all of those people, along with all the sane white folks, straight folks, vote against the Republican Party, they're done. Gone. And we can do it. And lastly, if you are still currently supporting Trump, you are probably not going to be listening to my video, But just in case you are, you have to own his bigotry. Now, there's a percentage of the GOP base that sees his bigotry as a feature, not a bug. They like it. He's shown them they can tear off the mask of civility and they can be their naked, bigoted, misogynistic selves in public, and it's okay. And they make me sick. They make me ashamed that I have to call them my fellow Americans. But there are other Trump supporters that aren't quite as ravenously bigoted. But even the ones that aren't, you have to own Trump's bigotry. You have allied yourself to a man who is nakedly misogynistic, nakedly racist, nakedly xenophobic, and nakedly theistically bigoted. He's out and proud. He is one step short of waving a Nazi flag in public and having an 88 tattooed on his forehead. You have to own that. And you don't get a choice. So long as you support Trump, you are supporting bigotry. The GOP in 2016, just like the GOP has been since the 1960s, is the party of bigotry and hate. Don't pretend it isn't. Don't give me any bullshit excuses, no justifications. That's what it is. It is the party of bigotry and hate. And if you support Trump, you've allied yourself with that.